Kyle? Nindies?
Nindies.
Little bitty Nindies.
Yeah.
So this is Nintendo's cutesy name for, hey, we make, we're helping to publish indie games. Don't forget, we're going to call them Nindies, everybody.
It's no longer WiiWare.
We're also going to claim that a lot of these are exclusives, when in fact they are far from.
Well, that's the colossal amount of BS that we've talked about.
That language during, I watched the presentation and just trying to determine with each game whether this was actually an indie exclusive or whether it was an exclusive launch or what was infuriating.
And then there were a couple that were just flat out wrong.
Really?
Yeah, I think they said Kentucky Route Zero was a console exclusive. It's not.
Are you kidding me?
It's coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
We were yelling at them before about like the way they framed Stardew Valley and that JRPG, the Battle Chasers thing.
Yeah.
They've just been called out it again and again, and they continue to do it with this presentation?
Yeah, that's like one example, yeah. I mean, they were very careful about the language for everything else, but that is one glaring thing that was like, well, that was just
So other than the lies, they were absolutely
That's
honest.
right.
Are you trying to excuse this, Kyle?
No,
This is
I'm the one that
colossal
brought it up.
bullshit.
No,
it's insane.
absolutely yeah.
And so it was kind of like that Microsoft thing at E3, Dan, for the rest of it of like,
That's
what,
exactly right.
what are they
it's
saying
just like the player
exactly?
Battlegrounds thing.
Yeah.
We don't know because the language is so careful and cagey and they just won't be upfront about
Like,
it. I get it benefits only them to obfuscate
lie.
what they're doing. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yes.
Like, what does debut mean? Exactly. You know, it's like, does that mean it's going to be first on Switch, or does that mean it's
console debut? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It's got to be absolutely frustrating.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Cork, it seems like you're calling BS on the entire Nindies push, just because you've been around for a while. You've heard the song and dance again and again.
Well, they've been like, I think Nintendo has long courted independent developers ever since WiiWare.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not. I mean, they could put a new coat of paint on it, but ultimately, they have tried to establish relationships with independent developers for a long time, and maybe this time they're opening the gates in ways that we have not seen so far.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I've had interviews with people at Nintendo just talking about, hey, this is our new indie initiative, and it just seems like same song, you know, third verse.
And it's
that's
not like
fine.
it's a failure again and again and again.
No.
Like each console generation, there are a couple interesting exclusives
Absolutely.
even.
And the Wii U was more open than any other console in terms of like publishing games and stuff. But
Well,
you're right, Cork. Like, there's no reason the Switch is going to be this like stellar example of, you know.
No, it's and I'm not trying to sound negative. I mean, it's great that they're getting more support from independent developers, and that's fantastic to have more games to play. And they look like, some of them look like they're going to be very fun. But it's just weird to have like the Nindies thing. It's like, it seems like someone came up with that wordplay and was like, hey, we should really rebrand this thing while we're at it. It's like, okay,
yeah, it's a whole new thing. So what's the most exciting games that are coming then?
Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy Forever was announced, I guess, sort of. I went back and actually found a 2014 preview that I wrote of that game, where I went to PAX and I played it on an iPad.
Yeah.
But now it's actually like done, presumably, or
And
near
it's an
completion.
auto runner?
That's what it wasn't totally clear in the trailer that they showed, but after the fact, I think they had an FAQ on their site, and it appears to be an auto runner.
So it's not that this is an exclusive home. It's still coming out to iOS in theory sometime soon. It's just also going to be released on Switch.
Yeah, and they did act, which surprised me. They are calling it a sequel to Super Meat Boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they said they're like, we didn't want to call it 2 because that's stupid, so we're going to call it Super Meat Boy Forever. So I guess we can look at this as a sequel, and it looks cool. I'm excited for more Super Meat Boy, even if it's, you know, auto runner.
The iOS ports, I understand Steam is flooded with it and whatnot, but it's odd that Nintendo's courting it so much. There was like that voice game, like the rhythm game that released earlier, and even like there's the talk of porting the Final Fantasy 15 mobile version to Switch, and then there's this other game that released on mobile a couple months ago that they announced proudly. Mom
Hid My Game,
yeah,
which I was not familiar with it, and I even came to you after we watched the presentation, and I was like, hey, Hanson, this game looks kind of silly and goofy. Mom Hid My Game coming to Switch, and you're like, yeah, I played that on my iPhone a couple months ago.
Yeah, I played
I
it.
like, oh, okay.
I think it was even free, and it's one of those games like played it for 15 minutes, like, oh, this is cute. All right, let's immediately forget about it. It's just like, it's just a black and white room, I do believe.
Blue and white.
Oh, blue and white. There we go. And then you just have to find your gaming console that your mom repeatedly hides and hides again. You just have to, it's a little puzzle.
Let's see. Shovel Knight is getting a new campaign, which looks cool. King Knight. Golf Story. It was like that golf RPG.
I'm into it,
which,
yeah.
That is one of the few that they were like, look, everyone, this is only coming to Switch.
Is that
Switch
right?
Switch exclusive.
A true exclusive. They pointed that out. Yeah.
Well, wait.
We'll see if that holds up.
Wasn't that the exact
they
wording
said
they
Switch
used?
exclusively. Coming to Switch exclusively in September.
How did they frame the Kentucky Route Zero stuff then?
Console exclusive, they called it.
I think they called it they called it console. The fifth episode? Fifth episode console exclusive. So presumably when what they sold on that stream was like, the 5th episode is going to come out, for everything that's available on. And then it's also going to, the whole game will be on Switch. It's called like Kentucky Route Zero TV version or something like that.
But then it was released later, like, we're also going to Xbox One and presumably PS4, right?
PlayStation.
Not even presumably. Yeah.
Like, hey, we've got the TV edition coming soon.
Yeah.
Dan Tack, what do we do about this?
Other than is there anything we can
shout?
Repeatedly call it bullshit.
All we can do is call them out. And I think we should, and I think we're doing our job by doing so, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, the word exclusive is just losing its meaning like every year.
But above and beyond, like you can it's murky with PlayStation and console exclusive with Xbox at E3 and stuff. But it seems like every Nintendo Direct about indies, they're confusing people with this.
It's frustrating dealing with the Xbox and PlayStation stuff because they deliberately use that cagey language. But here we have stuff where it's just flat out incorrect.
Yeah,
and that's being presented to us. Like the what was it? What was the thing with Battle Chasers? It was
Switch first, I think is what they said.
which is and now it's Switch last.
Right.
It got delayed. Right.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah. It's unforgivably stupid.
Some other things, Polybridge is coming to Switch, which is kind of neat. And there was some interesting looking stuff. SteamWorld Dig 2 has a release date now.
Okay.
Yono and the Celestial Elephant. You seem pretty excited about that one.
Yono and the Big Oko.
No, what are you talking about? And nothing. No, Super Meat Boy was sort of the big one.
Yeah,
and also, of course, I can't believe I almost forgot it. The No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again.
Oh, that's right. That's
they had
exciting.
a trailer for that, which is again another one of the few this is only coming to Switch.
Is it like a proper No More Heroes game? Because it seemed like in the wording that they're kind of being more experimental with it before, weren't they?
They're not calling it 3.
Yeah.
So you could take that for whatever it means.
It's some kind of like crazy side adventure where they go into a video game, right?
Well, they're it looked like it's Suda. Like who fucking knows what's going on with that game? But it sounds like you're fighting a console or something.
I believe you and your arch nemesis or something get sucked into the console and have to fight your way out through 6 different games.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, and then
that sounds great.
Then in the trailer, they're playing Hotline Miami on the TV, and it is a continuation of the story. Like it is,
Hey, here's a deep cut. I didn't watch this thing, but they didn't announce that UFO 50 project for this, did they?
I don't know, but considering I don't know what that is, no, I don't think.
Okay, the trailer came out a couple weeks ago. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, but I'm very excited about it. It's Derek Yu from Spelunky fame, also the Downwell creator, and a bunch of other indie developers are getting together and making NES-style games, but it's 50 in 1, just a series of little projects. It has the best name, just UFO 50. It seems very, very cool. I love the kind of just weird, it's a game jam, let's package it all together and ship it.
To maybe end on a little positivity for Nindies, I like the Vita sort of held that space of you can get a lot of cool indie games here on this handheld platform. I feel like the Switch is kind of taking that over, and I'm really excited about that. I'm happy, like games like Owlboy and Hollow Knight and stuff.
Cool.
That's where I'm going to play those games. So as long as we'll see how Nindies works in the long run, but I'm optimistic to get some interesting games on there.
Thank you so much for watching this excerpt from the Game Informer Show podcast. You can subscribe to the audio version and listen to new episodes airing every Thursday. We cover big games on the horizon, games that we've just reviewed. We have long-form developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So check it out every Thursday.